Hello everyone, welcome back to FX Capital Analysis and Forecasting. We are approaching another week, which is week 20 of 2021. Hopefully you guys done with your analysis and forecasting, and this is my personal analysis and forecasting for guys you take note and make as education, not as a signal, because if you want to be independent trader you need to have your own forecasting, because that's the important point to be an independent trader. And we will start our forecasting with top pair and wildcard. We have around it's 8 top pair and 1 wildcard. And we will start with gold pair, which is a high probability trade. So for this pair we see in high time frame, which is 4 hour time frame, we have this big descending channel quite approaching for multiple weeks already, and we approaching this big double top coming from here. So we expect price going to pull back either from this double top or another possibility from this trend line. So we have two possibility. Then we move to 1 hour time frame, because our entry will always on 1 hour time frame. For this moment, what I'm looking for is I will set alert from the rail line and ready to execute when the price approaching this area and sell to the downside. Next, other possibility is I will set movement sell setup from this momentum and sell to downside. The other possibility that I will take care of is if the price move to the outside as impulsive move, because we have the possibility and probability, I'll just evolve the structure based on the next movement. I will wait for any flag and move to the outside. So I got quite clear for this area. For the gold pair, hopefully gold give us opportunity for this week or next week. Next we move to Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, very simple forecasting for this area. And daily time frame, we have this high for this week. Last week we have this high, however price did not trigger because price quick impulse to the upside. Now we have the possibility to move to the downside from this area. So in 1 hour time frame, we're looking for this area. If we calculate how many pips move to the upside, it's about 140 pips. So we have the area. If we price create ascending channel from here is what I'm looking for, and we are able to sell through downside. Simple and straightforward. Next we move to CHF Japanese yen. For this pair we have this big, this is one big correction coming from this big impulse. If we move to 4 hours, weekly, clearly this big impulse and this a correction. 4 hours we're looking for is this one of ascending channel, one touch, second touch, third touch, and looking for another multi-touch support by this trend line. This big trend line, what I'm looking for is high probability trade move to the downside. So I will set alert and triggered from here and sell to the downside, support by this area. So very clean structure, clear, and probably we are able to execute for this week for this pair. Next we move to Euro Japanese yen. Euro Japanese yen, in for lower higher time frame we're looking for is this too high is the important point. We're looking at this very steep ascending channel, quite a long ascending channel. I can say this is quite a long ascending channel, but there's very high probability price going to move to the downside in any time soon. So what I'm looking for is from this multi-touch area, either I will sell this movement from this trend line or this double top support by that trend line. If price impulse to the upside, I'll just wait for price pullback, create a flag from here and sell, move to the downside. So very clean move. Hopefully you guys take note for this pair. Is very high probability trade. Next we move to our valid trade. First valid trade will be this area, and high time frame, which is weekly time frame, we support by one touch, second touch, third touch. So at the third touch we already pull back from the third touch, move to the outside. So I'm looking for this clean flag move to the outside, because last week we quite gain from this movement to the outside, but I already tapped out because this is quite a large pullback. So I trail my stop loss around this area. So what I'm looking for is if I able to buy again from this area, or price going to move to this area and shoot up one more time. So we're looking for the price development, and this is high, sorry, this is valid position. Next we move to Euro CHF. Euro CHF at a high time frame, we see the development is this one big descending channel. So if we calculate pips move to this area, about 160 pips from this trend line. If we zoom out a little bit, this trend line in the middle of structure, however we have the probability price move to the upside from this area. So next we will move to 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame, we're looking price to develop, and if price move to the downside from this area, I'm happy to buy and move to the upside. Next we move to Euro USD, one of another example of valid position. If we move to 1 hour time frame, is on this area, is price going to, our looking for is sell setup, support by this multi-touch and move to the downside support. So hopefully you guys take note for this pair. Quite a valid position, still valid position, not high probability. If high probability, probably move to this area, move to the downside. So this will be the setup. Next we move to NZD CHF. NZD CHF, this is one descending channel. We have steep flag from here. For steep flag, normally I will be looking for any point that price going to boost, move or jump to the upside. So sorry, at 1 hour time frame, we're looking for this pair is, I'm looking for, since last week price moved to downside but did not touch this area, so I did not execute. So I'm looking for is either price move to this area or move to this area and move to the upside again one more time. Okay guys, next final pair with is JPP JPY. JPP JPY, one of the wild card. So we have this point and I expect price move to the downside from this area. So what I'm looking for is sell setup. If we count to upside, it's about 200 pips move to the upside. And in 1 hour time frame, we see this structure, a very clean structure. If you tell me impulse correction, one of continuation, move to the upside. So for this area, I'm looking for sell to the downside if price able to create one of ascending channel from here. Okay guys, that's all for this week. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube and follow our Instagram. Goodbye.